Hey. It has been forever. I wanted to come on and give you guys an update. So the last time I talked to you, I think I was just getting through or about to finish phase 1. I quit my boot camp, you guys. So here's why. I was actually on the way to phase 2. I was going to start working on my project, I believe, to essentially test out of phase 1. But I really found myself just being stretched too thin, very stressed, and not having positive confidence in myself or feeling motivated. Mental health is important, you guys, and I found that going through the boot camp, it just wasn't positive for me. I wasn't feeling smart enough. I wasn't feeling like I was intelligent enough to understand and or accomplish what was being asked of me. And I felt like that when questions were asked, when I was seeking support, that I felt that I couldn't answer or should have been able to answer. And when it came to testing the code through the labs. So I would spend hours trying to understand why my labs weren't working. And when I would test it on my own, they did what they were supposed to do, but I don't know if it was the way that the test was designed, or maybe because the way I was writing it wasn't what they were asking for specifically. The tests were not passing. And I won't say that not all of my tests were passing, because you have several tests per module or per lesson, lecture, whatever you want to call it. So it could just be dependent on, if you only need one test or if you need 13 tests to pass. Long story short, it was really deflating. And I wasn't feeling that I was getting what I desired when I initially started the boot camp, which was a one-on-one designed program and or a student led program, or just something more encompassing. I ended up having to do the self-paced because I need to work. And the self-paced, essentially, you're teaching yourself. You teach yourself. And I'm thinking in the back of my mind, I'm paying this amount of money to be teaching myself when there's so many resources online. And I felt that when I was asking questions, because they don't directly answer the question for you, because they're trying to teach you how to Google, or they're trying to teach you how to think like a programmer, that's all fine and well. But if I'm paying you so much money, if you can't tell me where my code is going wrong, or you are cryptically answering my question, you're not really helping me grow or learn. Do you get what I'm saying? So I felt that it was redundant in that manner to be going to school, essentially, and being my own teacher and still feeling like I wasn't capable of even doing this job. I feel like if you're doing something that you have a passion about and that is exciting to you, and for some people that they even have ease with learning it, that it should be nourished, and I didn't feel that it was a benefit to continue. I taught myself up to this point, and I knew that I was capable of learning. I knew that I was capable of programming. I had built plenty of static pages. But I think when I initially started learning JavaScript, it just seemed so much more comprehensive than what it actually was, at least on the foundational level. And I just kind of threw in the towel because I didn't think that I could do it. And I thought, okay, let me reach out to boot camp or to a mentor, and maybe that'll help me get the material better, quicker. Yeah, they gave me the resources I needed to learn JavaScript. Do I know JavaScript now? For sure. Am I proficient in it? With some practice, I would be. But now I can actually say that I know JavaScript, whereas last year, even a couple months ago, excuse my language, I couldn't have said that. And I do appreciate having had the ability to go through the program, to have learned it. Looking back on it, would I have gone the route that I did? Absolutely not. Boot camps are fine and well, and I don't knock them. They are what they are for the people that they're meant for. If you have responsibilities, job, kid, you want to maintain a social life, you travel a lot, whatever the case is, if you have something where you cannot sit down at a computer 8 hours a day, at minimum 25 to 45 hours a week, do not. I mean, I'm not here to tell you not to or to do something, but I would heed caution for enrolling into a boot camp, because if you cannot dedicate that time, you're going to fall behind, you're going to misunderstand something, you're going to feel like you're rushed. I mean, and these are all things that I felt. I realize that the people in these camps, they have either quit their jobs, they don't have any kids, their kids are grown, they have the ability to dedicate all of their time and attention to the boot camp. Yeah, it might be self-paced, but self-paced still had a time constraint on it. You essentially have just over so you have 3 months, which is ample time. 3 months to get through the first phase, okay? You have 3 months to get through the first phase, and it encompasses a project at the end to capsulize what you've learned throughout the entire phase. But the phase, which something that I appreciated prior to really diving into the program, is so much reading that one module, one section within that module can take you hours or days to get through them. Don't let you stop or, whatever, you'll fall behind. Honey. Long story short, it just wasn't for me. I'm running out of time. I do want to come back on and give more detail as to why I felt that the boot camp wasn't for me. But that's somewhat of the gist of it. I just didn't feel like I was being fulfilled and or educated in the way that I felt that I needed and that I thought I was going to get prior to entry. So unfortunately, my journey with the school has ended. I am not bad-mouthing them. If somebody is interested in them, go for it. But it just wasn't for me. I'll